So bake at 350 degrees, 18 to 20 minutes, probably closer to 20. After 15 minutes though, we're gonna take these out and I'm gonna show you something cool. So definitely set your timer. So I told you after 15 minutes, we're gonna take our gingerbread out of the oven. This is why. We're gonna make some stained glass windows, that's right. Stained glass windows for our gingerbread house, hells yeah. I bought some just hard candies, miscellaneous, no frills, cheap hard candies. Different colors. We're gonna pulverize them with a hammer, put a little cloth on top, just give them a good banging. So I said 15 minutes, take these out of here. It's been 15 minutes, exactly. You can always smell this gingerbread in here. It's really like unreal. The candy's been crushed to make our stained glass windows. Spoon a little bit of the mixture into each window. This is gonna melt. We're gonna put it back for another 5 minutes. It's gonna create a really cool effect. We filled our windows with the crushed sugar for our stained glass window effect. Let's put it back in the oven for 5 more minutes and we're set. So 5 more minutes for a total of 20 minutes. Let's see how we're looking. And we're looking good. So we're gonna let these cool down for at least 15-20 minutes. And in the meantime, we're gonna get our icing ready. So we're cooling off. We need to make the icing slash glue slash snow, the whole thing. It's called royal icing. It's a little different than regular icing. Very, very simple to make. Let me show you how to make it real quick. So to make this quick icing slash glue to complete your gingerbread house, we're gonna use 16 ounces or 1 pound of confectionery sugar, a half a teaspoon of cream of tartar. Cream of tartar is used to stabilize egg whites. We're gonna need 3 egg whites. It's gonna make them form really stiff peaks. It's gonna make a really stiff icing and it's gonna actually dry out and form an icing slash glue for our gingerbread house. However, with the confectionery sugar, we have to have it sifted. So I'm using this sifter here. If you don't have this, by all means, use a pasta sifter. The reason for this is that we don't want any clumps whatsoever. It has to be like really smooth and really clean because we're gonna pipe this through a pastry bag, and if there's clumps, it's not gonna go through the bag. So I'm just gonna start sifting away. Real simple to do, but you have to do it, very important. It takes a little time, but it's gonna make your life a lot easier in the end. To start, we need to mix the egg whites, all 3 of them, on high speed. Start it off for like, I don't know, high speed for like a minute or 2. Start adding the sifted sugar. Keep adding the sugar, add the cream of tartar, and keep mixing. The whole process is going to take between 7 and 10 minutes. Just add the rest. Keep mixing. This icing has gotten really, really thick. Like really thick. This is how you want it. What you need to do now is you need to cover this with saran wrap, but not cover the top of it. The saran wrap has to be touching the icing. It can't have oxygen get onto it because this mixture dries out really, really quickly and it'll start forming a film and it'll never go through your pastry bag. So get the saran wrap right on top of this. Just make sure you cover the whole surface until ready to use. Excellent, now we'll start assembling our gingerbread house. So for assembly, as you can see, it's pretty hard. We're actually gonna use twist ties at first to assemble this. I want to get like a small screwdriver like this, or a nail, or anything that'll perform the same function. And at the top, just make a little hole. At the bottom, make a little hole. Repeat on both sides. We're gonna be using icing too, so we can hide these holes. The magic of icing. Alright, so 4 on each. Now remember, these are the sides of the house, and this is the front, and this is the back of the house. So we're going to do the same, because we're going to match them up. So let's assemble this. You will probably need a little bit of assistance. We have Brian here, who's going to hold this together perfectly, just like that. We're going to be using twist ties to start, and put them through the holes. Be gentle because the cookie is fragile. And you can keep it loose. We can remove these after we ice them. It's just really a stabilizer. And then we use the glue or the icing, which acts as the glue. And you can keep it loose, it's okay. So hold that back up. And we're gonna put in the final one. I did break the cookie on the other side a little bit. No worries. We have our icing glue to make repairs. So we're actually just gonna leave it just like that. Perfect. So the last part to combine is the roof. Again, I'm using the twisty ties. I'm gonna keep it loose because I want it to be flexible, but I still want it to be held together. All right, now we have our roof and we can actually fold it over carefully without breaking it. I'm actually gonna loosen it a little bit. I think it's a little too tight. After all that hard work, you don't wanna have the whole thing crack in half. So just give yourself a little leeway. Let's try it now. That's better. Now we can form a roof. So let's put the roof on and see how we're looking. Very cool. There's going to be a lot of seams that you're going to see, but we're going to fill all of this in with our icing, which is going to harden and make it like super durable, hurricane proof, like no one's blowing this house down. So let's get our icing ready. So guys, I've developed a crack in my roof. I hired a really crappy contractor. So in order to make reparations, I'm going to take a little of the icing that we just made, which is going to act as a glue, and I'm going to repair this. Always check your contractors. They're very sketchy. This should work. Like I said, this is my first time doing this. Trial and error, right? It's kind of like super glue. You just got to hold it for a minute, let it adhere. So we've definitely had some technical difficulties with this, but we persevere, and let's just keep going and make it look as good as we can. Get that icing up there, you know, fill in the spots that aren't, you know, perfect. You know, it's not going to be perfect, especially for the first time. Just be really creative. Whatever kind of candy you like, bring it on. You know, this is a fantastical, crazy creation. I love it. Candy canes, whatever you like. I love Skittles. I love M&Ms. I love now-and-laters. We're gonna put some now-and-laters on here in a little bit. Oops. Except for that one. Don't use that one. Lovely. So here you go, guys. This is my first gingerbread house ever. It was not easy to put together, I have to say. It looks a lot easier, or seems a lot easier than it should be, but it was definitely a learning curve, but I think it came out really, really good. We had a little technical difficulties, but we persevered, and I think it looks absolutely amazing. Happy holidays, guys. I love it.